system of the digital world, where every keystroke leaves a trail and every system tells a story, the modern defender must navigate an ever-shifting landscape of threats and intelligence. Today, we embark on an extraordinary expedition into the heart of Windows forensics, uncovering the artifacts that shape investigations and revealing the hidden depths of PowerShell-Hunter, a collection of tools designed to expose the unseen and illuminate the unknown. Guiding us on this journey are our hosts, Michael Haag and Paul Michaud, as they unveil the capabilities of forensic tools, dissect their inner workings, and put them to the test in a live environment. So gather your tools, sharpen your skills, and prepare to explore the digital wilderness, where every log, every process, and every artifact holds a clue. Welcome to Atomics on a Friday.
Hey,
in the vast,
howdy.
What up?
The best. How's it going?
Living the dream on a Friday.
Yeah, man. Buttons everywhere. I feel like we haven't had a show in 100 years. It's been a long time.
I know. Well, we had a January, and then we were supposed to have somebody in February, and they bet.
Oh, that's right. Yes. That's right.
So they still owe us their insights.
Yep. I know.
We'll get
Never
them.
even posted it, but I probably should post it. That's okay. Yeah, so we got a pretty cool show. We got about 30 minutes. I think we both have a stop, so we'll just hop into it. We may have some new visitors today because of something that happened a couple weeks ago or a week ago or something. And
What happened a couple weeks ago?
well, the recording was a couple weeks ago, and then it was released. I'll talk about it in a minute. It's coming up.
Oh, okay.
It's coming up. The PowerShell podcast thing. Oh, too many buttons. Well, anyway, I get to share it, I guess, while we're here. Yeah, I did a quick interview with Andrew at the PowerShell podcast about PowerShell and stuff. Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh.
I'm not on Twitter. This is why I'm very confused about this PowerShell Season 1 thing.
Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh.
out of it.
Where have you been?
Not on the internet.
Yeah,
Been avoiding that.
I'll send it to you. I thought you knew.
No. Well, I will listen to it as soon as I get the links.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
So I was like, oh yeah, Season 1, like,
what's
doing
happening?
seasons now?
So anyway, Paul, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, and I'll tell you all about the project I started. That's hilarious.
This is the first time Mike and I have ever spoken to each other or done this show. For those of you that are first joining us today.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, so my name's Michael Haag. I work at Splisco, and I do threat research on the team. Kind of focus on emerging threats, but I also kind of dive into all kinds of random things, including PowerShell, which we'll be talking about today.
I am Paul Michaud. I'm a team lead for Unit 42's managed threat hunting team. I spend my days mostly just finding threats and telling people about the threats in hopes they respond to the threats. It's the most creative elaboration I could do on this.
It's okay. The best intro we've had in 2 months.
Probably since we started this when we actually did intros.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Alrighty. So with that, long story short, Paul, since you're just getting brought up to speed here.
On the internet.
A couple of weeks ago, or a few months ago, I started this random project called PowerShell-Hunter. And it's focused on just using PowerShell to hunt through event logs or hunt through random things. And it was just kind of a journey that I took of geeking out in PowerShell. And almost killed my desk. It was kind of cool. And just kind of focus on, like, correlating and hunting through Active Directory events, putting things together, 4104, and then it expanded to like all the forensic stuff, which we'll kind of show a little bit too. I'll show all of them today because it's what we're here for, is a fun demo. And then randomly, Andrew at the PowerShell podcast hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want to come and chit chat about your PowerShell-Hunter stuff and whatnot?" So that's what this is. I think that was came out last week. I think it was last Friday.
Has this podcast been around for a minute?
There's 160 episodes.
So yes.
And yeah, the answer is yes. It's been around, and it's through PDQ deploy PDQ.
Yeah,
group. They put it on.
Right.
Yeah, it's really cool. They've had a lot of great guests, and there's a lot of really cool episodes. But yeah, check it out.
Well, I will have to go investigate this.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Paul, and those that are watching and listening, we'll talk about PowerShell-Hunter now. And so again, it kind of just started out as a geek idea, and let me just throw some stuff together. There is a tagline of the project, which I absolutely love. It's called "Hunt Smarter, Hunt Harder." So it makes no sense, but I love it, and I really don't care. So here's the repo. I'll share it. And but yeah, so I was geeking out the other day. I started adding these little tag bar thingies. So I added one for Hunt Smarter, Hunt Harder. I thought that was cool. Anyway. So whatever. So again, it's my project. So so yeah, I tried.
I like all your commit with the emojis. The commit messages. Those are.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good for the soul.
What was the rationale between prefetch and cat?
I don't know. Actually, it's a dog.
Okay.
It's a dog.
Is that a dog?
Yeah, it should be a dog. It's a dog.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. It looked like a cat.
Yeah. And then rabbit hole, because I was jumping into a rabbit hole. So
yeah, that makes sense.
It tried to align, and then shell bags and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. So the repo, I ended up just calling it season 1, this first half of tools, because there's a bunch of things. And if you have been following along on social media, Paul, you'll notice on LinkedIn that this week was like a mass dump of tools. And so I kind of just had a backlog, and I was getting tired of holding them. So if you're like, gosh, this Haag guy just posts so much crap, it was backlogged, and I just basically started shipping stuff. So yeah, that's all. Don't think I just do this in a half hour. But yeah.
Now, I do remember the Active Directory one being released, or the initial one of that.
Yep. That's kind of where it all started. It was just like, hey, there's this cool like idea I had about hunting through 4104 events. And then it jumped into the AD stuff. And then after that, I started getting into all these other random things, which are really cool. They're really neat stuff. It's kind of funny. I was messing with some of them earlier, and you'll notice the progression of the HTML. I started out putting in like JSON CSV, and then it went to HTML. And then with the HTML, it goes from like this super generic to like super clean and sexy on the last couple tools. So it's funny. I was like, oh, I should probably care about that and fix them, but I'm not. So yeah, we just talked about the tools, and there's so many of them. And again, a lot of these have been like over time for me. So I don't know like everything and anything like about all the things for them much. So I kind of like have to hack through them myself now. But they're pretty neat, like using PowerShell to pull things out of the registry, just learning how to like deobfuscate things or understand, where these things are or how to get them and stuff. It was a good experience. And, but I think I want to bring more of like the AD threat hunting stuff back next time. This was just more like learning, which is fun too, but I want to bring more of the AD stuff back next time. And
what's in the docket for the season 2?
Oh, well, while you're asking, it's going to be a little bit of bug fixes, any Git issues. If folks have any ads they were looking for, I had a question about someone was wanting to use one of them with their SOAR product, and they wanted the HTML to just be standard out versus drop to a file. So just things like that. If someone's interested in that, let me know. open a Git issue or whatnot, we can get it added. And then bigger features, I still want to dig into ML.net. I think that's what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. ML.net. Yeah, ML.net. It's machine learning with .net. I really want to do that in season 2 because I think that would be really powerful from like the 80 threat hunting stuff and any of like event log analysis. I think it'd be really powerful. And I don't think anybody's done that. It's very focused on like developers doing things with machine learning. And I think this would be a cool opportunity to showcase it with .NET and security. Yeah, more correlation of things. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's more season 2.
So how many seasons are we going to get? Are we going to get a season 4 of Shell Sweep?
It depends on the funding. You're right, though. Shell Sweep, we do need a season 4 of Shell Sweep.
Maybe an October drop. Keep it with the.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's
the-
a valid. Yeah, dude, I don't know what else to do with Shell Sweep. Shell Sweep is pretty next level already.
Well, clearly you need to do like a neural network.
Yes.
Slap in some AI into it.
That's a good idea. Neural.
Some deep learning.
Yep. That's a really good idea. It needs a new logo. Yeah. All right. Let me
Well, let's jump in.
My first machine.
First
okay.
machine. How many machines you got?
Well, I had to build 2. Or one is Windows 11, and this one is my domain controller because I wanted to show the 80 threat hunting stuff.
Yes.
I just wanted to make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so this tool is actually super cool. I really dig it because it's just different. It's not just like pulling events out into a CSV and then like you having to create pivot tables and like figure your life out, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it from like an incident response perspective. But I really, really like this one because it actually tries to like correlate all of those events for you by time and just by the event IDs and whatnot. So it wants to like, it'll actually output, tells you, you know, password spray or brute force or a lot of account lockouts. Something unique is when you want to hunt smarter and hunt harder is you want to be able to test this in your environment. So I do have a whole like test suite of tools in here. So invoke AD threat simulation is actually going to generate all of this activity in like in the event logs of your domain controller. So it's going to make it easy, or not a live domain controller. Don't run it in prod. But you can run it in your lab and kind of play with it and see. And so I will show you both. I ran it earlier because it's like watching, I don't know, water evaporate into the atmosphere and turn into rain. It takes a little while to like generate. But once you run the, I wanted to sound better than watching paint dry. It basically will go through, there's a couple switches in the tool. So you do start threat simulation -random, and it will literally run through all kinds of randomization. It'll randomize usernames and all kinds of crazy things. It adds them. It will try to add them. It'll try to do all these different things. But I think one of the coolest things is it will try to do different logon types, because when you're like hunting and things and you're like, oh, I only ever see logon type 3. Well, in the real world, there's all kinds of logon types and they're all like spread and sporadic and everything. So I tossed that in there because I wanted it to be able to look more realistic. And then now this is the final output. You can see where it all runs, all the different usernames, what happened, they're all failed logons, and then all the different logon types. And then it will try to clean it up. So there's that.
What is status 2313?
You know, I don't know. I think that's a bug. There's a couple bugs I found today too. So
Oh, hold on. Actually,
don't judge me.
Keep going.
Okay. You got a jam?
No,
Oh, okay. Thought you were leaving me already. You just first seeing this live. No. Okay, so then when you want to run the actual hunt, it's just start 80 threat hunt, tell it the amount of time, or in this case, if you just ran the lab or the sim, you could just do like the last hour, and it'll go through and do that correlation for you, like I mentioned. What is this?
All right.
How do I click that?
So, I don't know. Hold on. Let me just.
Whoa, full screen.
I'll private chat it to you. So,
Okay.
There we go.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
Because I run into this constantly when doing like a event log analysis, because XML, Windows, when you open up Event Viewer, it does all the conversions. So things like in AD, you'll see things like the object SID instead of like the username, or sometimes it won't populate. Or in the case of event codes or like codes, you get these. Or excuse me, object GUIDs when you're talking like AD logs, like 5136, etc. Somebody on the random internet, I found this one time when I was trying to search it, was somebody dumped all of the different codes that you could potentially see from this DLL that actually is the resolver of those. So 2313 is bad username password combo, which makes sense if we're looking at failed logons. But I was like, oh yeah, I can go, because I use that. I have it as a bookmark.
That's
Not
awesome.
on this computer, but
Fine. I'll try to get that integrated. I think that'd be really cool. Thanks. There. See, season 2 fixes done.
There you go.
Be in there. So yeah, here's the output of the hunt itself. And so you can see here, it does all the correlation telling you that all these people failed logons and everything like that. And potential brute force, which is, again, all the 97 accounts of people failing. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That one does run pretty quick. I could probably run that. Oh, I haven't done anything in the last hour, so we'll see what happens. But that's what it looks like. There may be a video on YouTube. I can't remember. I've been posting some YouTubes. Oh yeah, it's still there. I guess I did this an hour. Whoa, an hour ago. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Buttons everywhere. So yeah,
screens. There we go.
There's that. Okay, we're back. And then, excuse me. I think that's it for the domain controller. Yeah, okay. Let me switch. Wait, where's the other machine? Oh, okay. Stand by. Let me move you over to 4104 hunting. Let's go over there. Let me stop this one. Other one. We should have like tunes in between. All right, next box. This guy. So this is 4104. I don't know if I have it up here. Oh yeah, here we go. There's a README in here, so it does tell you like what is this going to do. Again, this uses a kind of like a simple little CSV file that has a bunch of patterns in it. Just looking for interesting things. This is all from a bunch of work I did on PowerShell a while back at Splunk in the last couple of years, but it just kind of uses regex. And so it'll parse that out. It loads it up, parses it out, and it'll analyze your local 4104. And kind of the quick one to run, I'm just going to do the JSON format one here. Copy. Beep. There you go. Got my ASCII art. For those that hate ASCII art, sorry. It's always going to be ASCII art.
And if you hate ASCII art, you're going to get more.
Yep. The quick gist of it is right here on your standard out, just telling you that there's some sketchy things going on in here. And then you can actually go and open up the JSON output or any output. I think I've been dumping. I don't know which one's the latest. This one. There you go. And then you can I do JSON output because Splunk ingests JSON really well. So that's why I do that. But you can kind of see here, this is what it's doing. And it looks really nasty. You have a word wrap. I don't know how to wrap anywhere. There we go. Cool. And yeah, so now you can see all kinds of fun stuff that I've been doing.
You should, do you have Atomic Red Team as one of the strings or pattern matching in there?
No, I don't.
You should add that in there.
A good idea. I should. I'm not sure how people are using these things yet, if they are. If anybody is. So if you're using it, let me know. Curious. All right. Last one.
Let's do it.
Close that machine. Close that machine. We're onto a new machine.
A third machine.
Can I enhance? Enhance. Oh, we can enhance. Okay. All right, so
I gotta watch that soon.
go back. So I just downloaded it from GitHub. I think that's where I got it from. And yeah, okay. We can kind of start from the top. Go to BAM. So BAM was kind of a new one for me. You know what? I think I grabbed this from my local machine. There's a couple tools in here that are not on the repo. BAM was a new one for me because I don't deal in a lot of forensics and whatnot, but the idea of is that it tracks application executions and whatnot in the background. And I think, let me read it here. It tracks app execution for power management with registry entries containing application paths and precise execution timestamps. So when you run it, it'll go get BAM. This is one of the first ones I wrote. It'll get the BAM out of the registry. It saves it to a directory locally here called BAM collection. And then if you do analyze, and then you pass it the BAM directory, it's kind of like that damn
Bam Bam.
Yeah, BAM.
That
Okay.
Flintstones.
Yes. Yep. It parses it out. It's very easy to parse. This one was pretty cool. So it kind of just very generically tells you most recent executions, what kind of application types they are. A lot of the store stuff shows up in here, a lot of background stuff. And then I do have some basic like suspicious type things in here. Now they're not perfect. Again, kind of season 2 type stuff to go back and fix because I'm not like super keen on them right now. But gives you some basic stuff. So, and then don't laugh. It's a really sad looking HTML, but it gives you the gist of like suspicious activities of like, oh, it's a network path and it's a script, or a script executable file off a network path, which is, yeah, don't laugh. You can laugh. And it does check the time and tells you, after hours and all that. I don't know. It's cool. I dig it. It's kind of a neat way to just look at it. More visual.
I do dig it.
I'm sure there's.
I like it's simple.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants flashy and whatnot. Like that to me is like perfection. It's clean. It's simple. It's easy to follow.
Yes. Yeah. And then it does output again into JSON and CSV. So if you're like, I just want to like ingest this into something, you can do that too. It's all there. Or parse it in your favorite Excel.
Or your favorite sim, Elastic.
Yeah. Favorite XDR.
Yeah.
Defender?
Just kidding.
Defender, Sentinel. I don't know. What are these things called these days? Sentient. The MRU one, I couldn't get working earlier, but this one's a little tricky because it requires you to do things on your machine because it's focused on most recently used. And I just didn't do enough on here, but it goes and reads the registry, pulls out the most recently used items. And if you look at the repo for this one, I think there is a couple examples. Yeah.
Oh, you know what a good simple test would be? Just do a start run as PowerShell.exe, calc, whatever.
You can run. Whoa.
Oh, that was run as.
Oh, sorry. I was like, did I just APT myself?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. There. We'll try that.
So then PowerShell should show up.
Should. Sometimes these things do take time to produce, but we could try.
Let's do it.
Okay, so what I did is I have the thingamabob. Oh yeah, right here. I opened it up. This is what it'll look like.
Nice.
And this one's, if I remember correctly, was a little rigid on its output when it parses out. It's kind of sketchy. So this is actually like being formatted by our script here today to make it clean because it's actually not that clean. It's really yucky.
Does this also have HTML?
It does not. Yeah, this was round 2 of like I have no idea what I'm doing.
So round 3 for season 2 will include HTML.
Everybody's gonna get HTML.
There's gonna be so much HTML. You're gonna go back to your Adobe Dreamweaver days.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. What was the front page? That was the Microsoft one, right?
Yeah, and then what was there, like GeoCities or something like that? Didn't Didn't Yahoo have like their own tool?
Yep. All right. So hang on. Don't look at that nice clean HTML. PCA is this is another one. This one tracks apps that have potential compatibility issues, whether they're crashing or I don't know, maybe they're just loading. These were just loaded earlier and whatnot, but it still tracks things, and it's kind of, I don't know, it could be overlooked because it's kind of just a random one, but this one does pop out in HTML. It's one of my newer ones. So you can actually see it's a lot cleaner, but it gives you lots of stuff. And this one's actually pretty neat. I don't think I give examples on the repo, but if you run a lot of things or a lot of projects, anyway, if you run it on a machine that actually gets used, it's pretty cool.
Just run it on your CEO's machine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It doesn't hog memory.
It definitely will cause problems.
All right. Ooh, I need to get like a cough drop. All right. Prefetch, Hunter. Prefetch is what you would expect. They're little files that when programs run, they have execution history, loaded files, timestamps, all kinds of crazy things. It does have ASCII art and very fancy graphs. Okay.
Wow.
Here's this. So
that was probably the most recent one, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. And so something I added to this one, because I was just kind of curious. I was like, what if we like add in lobas to this one? Because to me, when I looked at it, I just wanted to see what could potentially be used from a like living off the land perspective. There's some correlation. It does kind of tell you what was most recently used based on time. It looks at all the data. It tells you what's recent, what's new. It tells you obviously how many times these things run. This one's really cool. But I correlated lobas. I added little tags. It's so fancy. And you can kind of skim through it here and you'll see like, oh, these are all lobas binary. It doesn't mean anything evil's happened. It just happens to be tagged that way. And because it's a new machine recently introduced, is going to tag on like everything.
Ooh, what's that blue box?
Statistical outlier. I can't zoom.
Nice.
Enhance. There
Enhance.
We go. Enhance. I should bring the magnifier up. So yes, statistical outliers. It just, again, it correlates it based on the time. It's I don't know. It's kind of cool because there's so much execution. It's just neat. Random little tool, right? Like, but it's very clean and allows you to kind of view. And this is all the data down here. Now, note, someone called out that there's obviously a lot more in prefetch files. I don't parse out the whole thing yet. That's a season 2 item because I think there's definitely more here that we can call out for that. So season 2, stay tuned.
Nice.
I need my Netflix funding.
I mean, Netflix would just cancel you after season 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
People are lucky they're getting a season 2 from this.
I know. This guy sucks. Like, we need a new show.
The old Netflix special.
Yes. Everybody loves it, but then they're like, cut. Shellbags is the same thing. Now, Shellbags is pretty cool because it keeps track of things that have been ran, things that have been deleted. It's like folder activities. It's all in the registry. It's kind of powerful. But execution history, loaded files, all the timestamps, and it's just another like cool like forensic-y thing. So there's like, that's the first like type of execution. You're like, well, Mike, it shows me 0 deleted files. Yeah, there's a tag here. Oh, so shellbags can cross out to like all users. So if you run it against all users, you'll get all the users. I only have one person on here. It's kind of useless. If you want to hit it for one user, you could do that, like based on the SID. And then the other one is include deleted. And so it'll actually show you the things that I've been deleting and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, there's APT. So yeah, a lot can happen.
So much APT.
All right, and the last one is the user assist. This one keeps track is registry keys that track GUI-based apps execution this one was tricky. They are ROT13 encoded. So we just have to like decode them, and it's a simple one. You just run user assist hunt. Real quick, let's go back. It will output them in standard out and kind of show you everything in here, which is pretty cool. These are all the decoded entries standard out, how many times they ran. And then you get your fancy HTML, which again will decode the names for you and pop them out here nice and clean. Here's us playing run as and stuff like that. PowerShell, MS Paint. Got to keep my artwork up.
That's what APTs use for exfil.
Yes, exactly. I think that's it. Shell bags, prefetch, all the things, right? Back. Yeah, that's it. It's all of them. It's a lot of little tools.
We expect more in season 2.
Yes, I know. We haven't been axed yet, so we haven't lost the funding. That's the word. What's going on? There it is. How do I get rid of this screen share? There it is. Okay. So yeah, kind of neat. Check them out. Most of them have HTML output now. The original ones do not. Yeah. Yeah, check them out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Like I'm really curious if people use them. I'm really curious about like use cases, EDR tools. I kind of do envision people using like live response with these things because they're simple scripts that just dump everything to disk. It makes sense, you know. You're trying to grab things like actually saved and stored like that for forensics and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah.
Very slick.
Oh, you already did our time.
Nice forensics YouTubers. Time to binge all your stuff. You're going to be sorely disappointed. This is probably the first time we've ever touched on forensics. Really not our area. But please go back and watch all of our stuff.
Yes, especially the March Madness, Purple Madness.
Yes, Purple Madness. Which Purple Madness starts soon.
Yeah, we gotta. It's only March 7th. We got time.
Yeah, March Madness didn't even kick off till like the end of March anyway. We got like what, a week and a half? Yeah, we're golden.
That's a bit.
We still got to do our C2 bracket or our EDR bracket.
Dude, March 20th. Yeah, we got a long ways to go.
We've got plenty of time, and then we'll put it together like 3 days before.
Yeah, if you're interested in joining the show for Purple March Madness, let us know. Yeah, man.
Purple Madness comes soon. We're gonna bring back one of our most prized possessions, the bracket. Last time we did C2s, we had some massive upset victories. This time we'll do EDRs, everybody's favorite. We're coming to take out Forrester and Gartner in this process and become the source of truth for your EDR purchasing needs.
Yep.
In a completely unbiased and typical fashion of calculating the best vendor on the face of the earth for your EDR and XDR needs.
Yeah, definitely. If you
cannot wait.
Yeah, we need to. I'll probably start tweeting out the prior Purple Madnesses because they were good.
They were good. Had a lot of good episodes on there. A lot of great stuff from our esteemed colleagues and guests.
Yes. Yeah, man. Well, I'll let you jam.
Yeah, dude. Great stuff as always. Another Haag project. There's probably 37 more in the pipeline we'll be talking about soon.
Yep. We'll see you soon on the next one. Yeah.
Shell Sleep 4, October. Mark your calendars.
Yep. Halloween. Absolutely. I know. The returns. Shell Sweep X. I actually have a name for it. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. It's really good. Yeah, it's already been thought of.
Love it.
But yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you soon.
Every weekend.
Madness.
Talk to you later. Be safe.